Just on 8:32 here on Manx Radio. TT Beth, we've got an update from the officials.
We do. So roads around the course are going to close at 10:30. Then at 11:15, the Milk Rees MGP Junior race over 4 laps. Then at 1:45, we have the MGP Supporters Club Lightweight MGP race over 4 laps and the Ultra Lightweight MGP race over 3 laps. And then at 4 o'clock, there is an MGP Senior qualifying practice session. That's over 1 lap. There will be the opportunity for lightweight and ultra lightweight machines not racing today to go out at the end of the senior practice ahead of Friday's race. So if you need to get your bike out there, you can do. And the roads scheduled to reopen around the course around no later than 5 o'clock.
And also, don't forget, just say on there as well about the junior bikes. Bikes used in the junior practice may not be used in the junior race. May not be used in the senior practice, because I know a lot of guys are doubling up on bikes. But if you've got 2 bikes, you're just quite lucky anyway. So guys, some more. We'll have loads more messages coming in this morning. Where next, though, Thomas, for you after this? Where's your next race? That'll be the East Coast Racing Festival, whatever they're calling it down there.
Yeah, that's
back on Killer Lane Road races. Yeah.
Yeah, Killer Lane. I think I'm third in that Superbike Championship. It's between me or Sweeney, so I have to go back and get the head into gear for that now. You and Sweeney, and of course I think Derek McGee's leading that, your fellow Mullingar man, he's leading that, but he's sadly laid up at the moment. Derek, if you were listening this morning, good morning, and we wish you well to get better. Just a bit unlucky there at the Ulster Grand Prix, wasn't he? So yeah, he was nearly making the bike talk to him this year. He was very good. He was
very good, wasn't he? Unbeatable, to be honest, at the national scene.
He's everything going from all the right people around him, and that's what you need. Everything just clicked well for him.
And you know Derek quite well?
I do, yeah. He only lives up the road from me there.
Oh, okay. And is there a lot of races around the Mullingar area where you live? A lot of competitors?
Yeah, you have Cody Nally, he's good in the Irish Superbikes, and James Kelly is up the road from me as well. So.
Oh, yeah. He's a good runner too, isn't he, James?
Yeah, he gave up the road rest, and he's come back at the tracks there now at the minute, so yes.
Oh, because he was around doing the national scene for a couple of years, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was handy too.
And how has the national scene been for you this year? Obviously, you said you're 3rd in the Irish Championship, which is no mean feat, really, because there's some top names been at them this year, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, the 600 is probably my least favourite class. I don't know if... I'm not really gone in the 600 now. I got the ZX10 this year and the Super Twin, and I've been up the sharp end all year with a few podiums on the Superbike and the Super Twin. So, really liking it. The Nationals I don't think are looking good now for next year. This insurance is up this year.
That's massive. Oh, it is absolutely massive. And there's talk about them having to introduce paying to get in, like you do at the Ulster Grand Prix. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, but would you begrudge paying £5 or maybe £10 or €5 or €10 to get into an event where you can stand as close as you can to the action in the safe areas for £10? You go to Sylvester, how much to go and watch a BSB or something? How much silver? 25, 35, 40 quid, 50 quid maybe, and you're about 4 days away. You go get yourself to the Irish National Road Races. And I can't believe when we had Armoy, did you do Armoy? I was there, but I was spectating. But great circuit, great people involved in that. Peter Loud and the guys have all been here watching the Classic TT and the Manx Grand Prix, and people were wanting their money back for their programmes. They're actually asking the programme sellers, there's been no racing, I want my money back.
It's people like that have the downfall of it. It's a lot of people going to them and making silly claims, people fall, and that's what has the insurance gone mad.
That's it.
It'd be a big pity if they go like that. It's probably the most unique sport in the world, isn't it?
I think Cookstown was £100,000 just for the insurance. I think. Quote me if I might be wrong on that, but that's a lot of money for a club. Only a small club to find, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a pity now. The ones in the south now, it's probably 50-50 if they go ahead next year now. It's not looking good at all because insurance is up this year.
Skerries and places like that.
Yeah, Wallerstown.
Are you involved in any of the clubs?
No, I just pay my entry and race in the day.
Just pay your entry and just turn up. How do you get all the money and everything together for your bikes and stuff? Friends, family, sponsors?
I do work every hour overtime I do get now. I do drive a digger during the week, and any days I'm not racing I'll be working. Just as I do it all myself. And if you're self-funding it yourself, this is a long time to take off to come here, isn't it? Yeah, it's probably good I'm driving a digger. You could walk into one job and at the minute in Ireland anyway. But the guys I'm working with there at the minute are pretty sound. They're all cheering me on yesterday now. So,
how'd you run the digger? Is this your own company you work for, or do you work for a company?
No, I'm working for a company there now.
And their name is?
Paul Scally, RKC.
There you go. See, there's an extra couple £100 in your sponsorship package. You see, you've got to think of these things. Daniel, you'll have to teach him about social media savvy. You have to do that. But it is, Michael, just come back to you. You're obviously you know how to put yourself about as well too with things.
So we've heard.
Well, your brother says. You've got to do that in this day and age, because what they don't give to you, they're going to give to you, they're going to give to you, and they're going to give to somebody else if somebody wants to be involved with the sport. And we've got Robbie Sylvester joining as well, who's your team boss, if you want to call it that, and beer drinker team boss as well. And it is a cutthroat business to get 50 quid, 100 quid, 150 quid, and all that will help. And how do you go about getting your sponsorship, Michael?
GT Superbikes are a real big help. Did a local shop down my way, and they supported Matthew, and they supported me in a big way now. And I got another company from up London, MI Construction Training, who I used to do a little bit of work for, who also support me financially. But it's still, and Dad. Everybody's got a dad that helps out. He actually owns the bike at the moment.
Is this the guy with the beard?
No, it isn't. No, that's my mechanic. That's mechanic John.
The guy comes in with a big beard and looks like Santa on a day off.
He's some lad.
Is he some crack? Is
he? For sure he is.
Yeah. And which one was your dad? Because I didn't know which one he is.
He's the one who's come over with no trousers. He's only wearing shorts.
Oh, you very nearly said it.
I don't know which one he is.
Hold on a minute.
Oh dear. Lots of people getting in touch with us this morning. It's a really interesting question that somebody's put on the Manx Radio TT Twitter page. Has anyone worked out how a 4 and 3 lap race, which are run at the same time, works with regard to checkered flags?
I have no idea. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm not.
Will be an interesting one.
That's a can of worms I don't really want to get involved with. Thomas?
Before I forget, actually, I want to thank Honorary Dove. They helped me to come here too, and there's someone else. Hey, Gary Burns as well, if he's watching. He was a great help to me. He sorted out my tyres for here. That was a big help. So,
because again, that's another cost that people don't seem to realise. I mean, I was speaking to a rider last night, and he was saying even a few years ago. I mean, just for the Northwest 200, it was like $3,000 coming here to do this. Like if you're doing it on your own, about 6, 8, 9, 10 grand, petrol, fuel, tyres, the whole lot. It's a lot of money coming in. Robbie, you've been involved in this game for a long time. You've seen a lot of changes. Welcome to the chat show. We've had you on before, I think, many moons ago.
Yeah, cheers, Chris.
And you've got obviously Daniel riding for you. You know what it's like, the cutthroat world of sponsorship, because running your own team with your own bikes. You've got Pete Murray, you've got the American with the Stetson hat. You've gone for that sort of side of the world sort of team. How hard is it to get sponsorship now?
I've never really had any, mate.
You just do it off your own back?
Yeah, we just do it off his own backs, most of it, a lot of it. I had a guy from back home this year, Access Paving's come on board with us. I get product support from all the the major guys, Rock Oil and people like that. They've helped us out. Sid Smith's Motorcycles in Sheffield, they've come on board, and we this guy who used to race quite a few years ago. We started doing the LCs together, and they took us a little bit of money for the TT and this, but it's only little bits. But every little bit helps, you know what I mean. So I'm back out there working on them big Caterpillar engines and earning me bread to spend it racing, mate.
When you first got in touch with Daniel, how did you communicate? Was it through FaceTime video or whatever, or was it, or did you just on the phone?
Did he send you a video of himself?
No, I'm just doing my arms, man. I'm on my legs today.
It was a video, but it was nothing like that.
Lots of people getting in touch on social media this morning. Good news for Sue, if she is really serious about taking up motorsport now. Sue can race in Ireland at the Yvonne Montgomery races there,
lovely,
says Debbie.
Yvonne, yeah.
And Donald says, morning from Sweden again. You were talking about the age for riding. One of my friends here and his father have been racing all their lives with motocross, short circuit, world endurance. His son is now 45. His father's 73, still racing, embarrassing a lot of youngsters on the track. He cycles 40 miles every day to stay fit.
Wow,
there you go.
That's the way forward, isn't it?
And just quickly before we go into the next break, David Smithson says, I've been to the Northwest 200 and Ulster Grand Prix. Which races would you suggest next? Because I'm hoping to do them all eventually. Michael, have you got any advice for him?
I've only done Cookstown, which was a really good event. Yeah, really enjoyed it. It's good. It's a nice little short circuit, so it's an easy one to learn then, which is a nice introduction to going over to Ireland, I felt. It was good. In fact, Derek McGee, you mentioned Derek earlier on, lovely guy, he was on top of his game. He took his time out to do some laps for me and show me way around there and some tips, Yeah.
When you come to the top of the circuit and you drop down towards that corner, towards that tight right-hander, I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. If I was there, I'd remember it. That's a cracking bit of track, is it? Big jump over the top, then drop down. And then you've raced Cookstown, Robbie, haven't you?
Yeah, I rode there. I rode there for McAdoo. So.
Yeah, you did a long time ago, that was. It was black and white days again.
It was, yeah. I did a 3-minute lap on the sundial.
On the sundial. Dear God. More messages.
Pat wants to know, now that you've all got your first race on the TT course out of the way, what are your other ambitions now you've got this under your belt? Daniel?
Well, we don't have this type of road racing in Colombia, so I'm going back to Colombia and do the rest of the national championship. And I'm thinking about, depending on the results on Friday, coming back next year, maybe to the MGP or probably the TT. Robbie's talking about probably getting an entrance to race in Macau, so that would be fun. Yeah. So that's my near future.
Michael, what about you? What's next?
Honestly, I'm going to take some time off and reflect on what we're doing. I think, seriously. Do I go back to short circuits? Do I push on and sort of do Northwest, really fancy it, Ulster, back here, stick with the roads type thing? But it's going to be bike related no matter what. As long as we physically able, we'll be riding bikes for sure. It's just work out where.
What about you, Tommy?
Oh yeah, I'll come back here next year and hopefully the Nationals there and just keep chipping away at them. I love heading off at the weekends, my van going to them. That's my thing now.
Just you and your van and your bikes, that's it, isn't it? None of this fancy awnings and all this malarkey. Just crack on, get it done. Yeah, that's the way to do it, in my opinion. That's the way.
David's been back in touch. He's not racing, he's a spectator. Well, thanks for that.
Okay. Thanks very much for that.
Yeah,
we need to take a break in a moment because we've got, I'm not sure it was going to be at the Met Office, but we need to check on that weather. It's getting a little bit better here at the
grandstand. I think it's the best it's been since we've been doing the chat shows, isn't it?
It's a bit warm. We've actually got the air conditioning on, as in the doors open. We'll be back in a couple of moments.